a little bit late. We're into May just, and I'm going to do a recap on how much has changed in April. So let's start with over here. We saw that the sheds have been painted, but we've now got a new little climbing rose next to the honeysuckle. And in the polytunnel, there's been some big changes because we've been sowing like crazy people. And you can see everything is already well and truly growing and getting ready to be planted out. Some of the things were a little bit of a failure. The sweet corn, I think, was the main thing that was a failure. And all of our sunflowers, the original planting of the sunflowers, which are here, all got eaten by something. Every single one of them had their leaves, their seed leaves munched off. But at the moment, we've got some more coming up. And this is looking pretty healthy. The broad beans that were in here in the March video are now out, and in the long trough over there. Some of them are about a foot high already. And there's also some over here where we've now put up the runner bean sticks ready. The runner beans have been sowed, but we don't plant them out until the second bank holiday in May. They're not really showing at the moment, so they might even go out a little bit later. But the peas that I managed to sow back in March that we weren't sure were going to do anything are actually doing really well. They're all a bit haphazard, but they're sown and they're looking happy, and we're keeping it well weeded. We've planted out the gladdies. They're in sort of a cross formation in here. We're going to plant in some other little bits. We've got a nasturtium in here that goes a little bit mental, so we're going to see how that all sort of starts to come up. And we do have two of our dahlias coming back. You can just about see the shoots coming up from that one and that one there. We're not sure about the rest at the moment, but it's a little bit early, and this gets late sun rather than early sun. Say hello, Ribs. Yeah, not on her bed. She was on her bed, but as I got up to film this, she got off her bed. Now over here, I haven't given much update on this before, but the rhubarb is looking pretty fantastic, and it tasted fantastic because I had a load yesterday. And this archway is getting really healthy. Right the way over now with the blackberry. So they're Ribs. And this cage has really come into its own since last month. It is really flourishing, and there is tons and tons of red currants, as you can maybe see through the mesh. Tons and tons of them. And the blueberries again, still flowering really well and getting even more flowers. The elderflowers are doing great gains. Really bushy, the ones that we lopped, compared to the one that we left just to do an experiment. So we just still need to wait and see which ones have the most flowers on and what's the best idea. At the moment, the short ones have got loads of flowers coming, but so's the tall one. So we're not entirely sure what's going on there. Oh, just went down a hole. But there's still loads that's been happening. So over here, this becomes our cut flower bed. I've put a little bush in there that Mum rescued. You can just about see it. It's a Hot Lips. Don't ask me what the main name is, but I know it's called Hot Lips. Over there, I've tidied up all the pots and repotted that rosemary and created just sort of like a little mini potted area in the middle. And the foxes haven't tried to attack the rest of the polytunnel yet, so we're hopeful for that. The roses that were not doing so great in Mum's garden are now really happy. And then if you come this way, we're not sure what's happened with the frog spawn. It all seemed to just disappear, and we haven't seen any tadpoles, but the pond is really healthy and the little marshy bit around it. The water mint has gone mad and smells amazing, but you can see the pond is really, really clear and really happy. There's loads of little buggies and life in there. And the wildflower bed behind it, although there's quite a lot of raspberries taken over, as they do, but the wildflower bed is massively changed, and we're hoping going to look really pretty and bring in all the bugs. We've started harvesting some leeks, some of which I ate last night, and they were absolutely wonderful. Now's the time to start pulling them up, otherwise they're going to go really woody. And there's a couple here that are kind of go to seed, but we just keep nipping the tops off them, these bits, and then they don't go to seed and we can still have a leek. So the raspberry bed, again, starting to really grow. The blackberry there has got tons of flowers on it. And these strawberries that I transplanted, really happy. So as long as Mr. Slug doesn't munch them all, we should be okay for strawberries this year, which will be a first. The mood trough, which I did in one of my little shorts, has now got a pump, which is not looking too happy. We've cleaned it out a few times, but it's getting going again. And there's more strawberries here, again, which has loads of flowers on. We've netted the gooseberry because Mr. Pigeon likes eating our gooseberries, and there is absolutely tons on there. You can just about see through there, we're in amongst the buttercups, which is actually really pretty. Quite like the buttercups in there. Onions are doing okay. They're coming on a bit. Still thinking that we won't do it in autumn like next year. This year we're going to do it in spring. Oh, the raised bed has doubled in height. We've done that. It's not got anything in it yet, as you can see. We're still just storing the bread bins at the moment in there, bread baskets. But that is going to be, that's a nice hot bed, nice double height bed. Garlic's getting there, waiting for that to go over so we can start pulling the garlic. And the runner bean cage you've seen. Parsley's doing amazing. And the chard is coming up next to it, which you can just about see if I get in there. Still 2 empty beds. And along these little troughs here, which Mum weeded yesterday, so they look a lot better. Not carrots, little round short carrots, which is why they're in such small little troughs. And then if I come over this way, Ruby, you're not on your bed. Keep coming over here. The biggest thing that we've done, other than all the sewing, is make a new polytunnel door. There's not a lot going on in this polytunnel, but we're really pleased with this door. It's relatively basic, but so much so that we're actually just gonna make one for the other polytunnel when it comes to winter, because the zips on that have gone as well now. But this makes it so much easier. This is all in prep, ready for cucumbers and gherkins are going in there. But that's Mum's main potting area down that end. You can see where she does all her transplanting and all of the seed sowing. There's a little potting bench down there. Let's just shut that up before I forget. But I think that's where we are. I think, just trying to think if there's anything else. Touched on the rhubarb. No, we're looking good. Quite pleased with this little bit here. It's quite sweet and quite smart. I absolutely filled this to the brim yesterday. Yesterday morning, oh, I'm in the shadow. This little frog's house at the front here and all these pebbles were all underwater. And now it's all gone. That is why there's a cage over this, because Mr. Heron one day landed and pierced the main liner that's sitting under there. But it's okay because it's turned it into a boggy area. You can see all the irises coming up. And then we've put that small little pool in so that there is actually water in there and lots of things to be able to climb in and out. Lots of little logs and stuff. But yeah, the main old greenhouse frame from one of our plastic greenhouses does stop the herons and that. We do sort of get pigeons and other things landing on it, but in the main the foxes keep the pigeons away, so it's mostly just to keep the heron out from destroying the liner. And Ruby's got on her bed. Now if I'm really quiet, oh, it's one of our little friends who lives up in the oak tree. He seems to like us. All right, mate. Oh, she's got off her bed. I was going to creep up on her so you could see her actually on her bed for once, but she's found some grass to eat instead. So yeah, that's where we are. I think it's looking amazing, and we're trying to keep it as tidy as possible this year, keeping on top of the weeding. I say we, Mum's doing most of the weeding, but we're all going to have a go, and it should be relatively simple enough that we can just mostly hoe it, so it shouldn't be so much of a chore. But I'll just do a little pan So you can see how much it has changed since last month. See you at the end of May.